Yeah, 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 yeah. Come on, support me, back me up.
Nah, ain't
You,
happening.
you take the high road, I'll take the
I
low
did
road.
just take the high road.
Kicks 105.5. Good morning to you. I'm Sean Knight, and it is time for Good Policies with Mike Barrett from Barrett Insurance Agency. Good day to you.
Good day to you. How are you?
I got here with no plow assistance this morning, and it was a slick, slippery, fun ride. But I've been sitting here for the last 6 hours. So what's shaking outside? They closed a lot of schools.
You've been here for 6 hours?
Yeah, I've already been here for 6 hours.
What ails you?
Well, you know, if you have a feeling that you may get stuck or there may be some incident, I get here early. That way, I'm here for the people.
You're such a
Just
good man.
like you.
Such a good man.
Come on. I know that you've gone way out of your way for people before in some cases or situations where you could have said, but,
Yeah.
you know, that's your name. That's your brand. That's your thing. Your father started it. And for me, you know, I've been here in the Northeast Kingdom, by the way, celebrating my second-year anniversary with VBA this week.
Oh, good. Is that so your second year in the Northeast Kingdom?
Not in the Northeast Kingdom. I was here before, but doing something different. And as you know, I'm from the other side of Lake Champlain. I'm in the Yucca.
Yeah, Flatlander.
Yep, Flatlander. And I did live in Burlington for quite a while, but
Still a Flatlander.
a lot of people don't consider Burlington part of Vermont or wish that they could write it off to some other state. So, Burlington, now part of Minnesota,
There you
according
go.
to Bernie Sanders and Mike Barrett.
So the roads are slushy. You know, I know the schools started with like a 2-hour delay, and many of them kind of opting to close.
Yep, closed.
Probably not a bad idea, though, from what the weathermen are saying, that within like a couple hours, this should all be behind us and a little more dry, but still messy nonetheless, and those trying to get in from the outlying areas. Definitely a rough commute this morning.
Tomorrow's actually going to be the colder day with negative teen temperatures and wind chill factors, but
Yay.
we won't get into that right now.
No.
So with the flooding, did you have any clients that were ill affected by the flooding that occurred?
I'm so glad you brought that up, because that is a very topical conversation
Wow.
that I was going to bring up as well.
Wow, it's like our minds are melding like Spock and Star Trek.
So we actually did have a couple of phone calls, but they weren't floods. It was groundwater seepage that was occurring for a couple of folks.
Now, what does that mean?
Now-
The groundwater is so soaked with water that it starts to go in through your through your basement.
There's a couple of ways. Yeah, it finds the easy way in from the basement, whether you have a crack or just a wet basement. You know, a lot of folks have sump pumps and things of that nature. Sometimes it comes through the window well because the ice is so close to the house that when the water settles, it doesn't know where to go. It goes in. And the worst part is that that's just simply not a covered event. Even a flood policy wouldn't cover that, because flood policies are very specific in how they have to be triggered in terms of size and scope and sometimes number of others who are affected. So when you get water in your basement, the best thing I can tell you is dry it out. You're really going to be on your own. And that's one of the worst things, because I actually grew up with a house with a very wet basement.
I had it happen to me when I was living in Michigan. Our entire basement flooded about 2 feet. We had to actually have a special company come out. And what they did is I got a new crock, a new sump pump, and then they actually did waterproofing of my walls with some kind of like latex paint.
Good idea.
And they said if it ever leaks even one drop, you get your money back. And
they warranty it. That's the better way to do it. You know, and if you know you have a wet basement, you know you have that probability, and you put a sump pump in, and you are taking the proactive steps. Let's say, for example, one time the sump pump at our place got unplugged, and that was accidental. But it became a problem. You know, that you got to be very on top of that. Now, the sump pump fails. There is an endorsement available on a homeowner policy. We try to put it on every policy if we can. It's called backup of sewers and drains. And in many companies, that endorsement includes failure of a sump pump. So at that point, the groundwater seepage event would be covered up to a specific limit. Usually $5,000, can go up to $10,000 or $20,000, but usually starts at $5,000. So something to think about for sure there. You know, and you know the movie, what's the movie that TBS plays? The Christmas movie that they always play at Christmas time, where the kid with the BB gun. What's the?
A Christmas Story.
The Christmas, well, duh, of course. So, you know, I think of my dad.
Gonna shoot your eye
You know
out.
when the dad goes down to the furnace?
Yes.
Sometimes that's how I feel like my dad was when he went downstairs to take care of the wet basement. You can just hear him banging around down there, and a couple of expletives here and there, and so it happens. It's Vermont. It's the way of the world. Now, when it comes to actually flooding, like the trailer park in Lindenville, everybody there has to, if they have a mortgage on that property, has to be carrying flood insurance. They should be carrying flood insurance regardless, and so hopefully any damage that they have is going to be covered subject to their deductible with the National Flood Insurance Program.
What I don't understand is that it's flooded both the years I've been here. I understand from other people who have lived here forever that it's occurred many times before. Why don't they raise the ground up or move them somewhere? I mean, that just seems like that next year or the year after that it's going to happen again.
Right. It's a risk, and something that the subsidies that have been available with the National Flood Insurance Program for so many years have finally caught up, and the National Flood Insurance Program is losing money. Thank you, government, for another excellent attempt to do something. But what happened is they've taken the subsidies away. There's always been a repetitive loss scenario with the National Flood Insurance Program, and I forget the specifics, but when places have repetitive losses, at some point you got to do something.
Yeah, like
either,
that house,
either get out of there, or
diagonal over there, that gets flooded every year too. I know that's just
it's tough. And Lindenville as a whole is always the most susceptible the town in the area to see that flood damage
because it's so low that we have mountain tops, that drain down into the. So
I was off. I went through town the other day, and I tell you, the ice that's still
the ice jam was beautiful. It looked like Superman's home when he flew away up into the north, and those wild spikes and everything.
And there was a little bit of fog that morning, so it kind of even added to it. So if I had brought like a blue light, it would have been like perfect. I really wish I had brought my camera, though. It really is beautiful to look at, but it just shows you that Mother Nature it can be
rules.
She rules.
She rules.
Yeah.
All right, my friend. If you would like to talk good policies with Mike Barrett and Mike Barrett.
Yeah, not the guy involved with the Aaron Andrews scandal either,
no,
by the way.
Available to you anytime by calling.
748-5224. Visit us at our website, thebarrettagency.com, or in person, 309 Portland Street, Suite 102, St. Johnsbury. Check out our Facebook page, Barrett Insurance Agency. Check out our Google Plus and YouTube channel at Barrett Insurance Agency as well.
Look forward to seeing you next Wednesday.
All righty.
Bye.